Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this tutorial for a crochet doorstop. So you will need yarn for this project, and to be honest, this was just leftover yarn that I had used, and it's a category 3 light worsted double knit. You'll also need your hooks, and for most of the project I'll be using a 3mm, and then I'll use a 4mm hook. You'll need a pair of scissors, you'll need buttons for the eyes, you'll need a yarn or wool needle and a smaller needle to work the facial features. You'll need some black yarn for those facial features as well. Let's get on with the tutorial. To begin, we'll form a magic ring like so, making certain that you have an X. Take note of the tail end of the yarn, so you'll insert your hook picking up on the yarn, and then it's a chain 1 to secure like I'm doing here. So this is the magic ring. We'll be using half double crochets for most of this pattern. So it's yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops on the hook. Let's take a closer look at that for any beginners out there. It's yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops on the hook. Continue with half double crochets into the ring. I've continued on and I've worked 14 half double crochets into the ring. Tighten up on the ring by pulling on the tail end of the yarn. To complete round 1, slip stitch into that first half double crochet to join. Round 2, chain 1. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Into that same stitch from where chain 1 comes out of, work 2 half double crochets. Work 2 half double crochets into each stitch. This creates an increase throughout the round. Continue to the end of the round. Here I am at the end of round 2. To end the round, slip stitch into that first half double crochet. Round 3, chain 1, half double crochet into all stitches. Remember to work that first stitch into the same stitch as chain 1 throughout the pattern. Also, keep your stitches tight throughout the pattern. Continue with half double crochets into all stitches to the end of the round. I've continued on, I've worked round 3 and slip stitched to join at the end of the round. I then worked round 4 and round 5, which was just a chain 1, half double crochet all stitches, and I slip stitched to join. Round 6, chain 1, into the same stitch as chain 1, half double crochet. Here we're working an increase round, so it's 2 half double crochets into every stitch. I've continued on, completing round 6, round 7, chain 1, half double crochet all stitches. I've continued on, completing round 7, round 8 and round 9, where I just chained 1 and half double crocheted all stitches. Round 10, chain 1, half double crochet into the same stitch as chain 1, followed by an increase, which is 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, and then it's 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, an increase into the next stitch, that's 2 half double crochets into that one stitch. So here we're alternating between a half double crochet and an increase. I've continued on, completing round 10 with a slip stitch to join at the end. Round 11, chain 1 into the same stitch as chain 1, half double crochet. Here we're working half double crochets into each stitch throughout the round. I've continued on, completing round 11. I then worked round 12, which was a repeat of round 11. Round 13, this is a decrease round. Chain 1, work a half double crochet into the same stitch as chain 1. Into the next 2 stitches, we'll work a decrease. So it's yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 4 loops on the hook. Into the next stitch, you'll work a half double crochet. Into the next 2 stitches, a decrease, yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 4 loops on the hook. So for this round, you're alternating between a half double crochet and a decrease. I've continued on. I've worked round 13. I then worked round 14, round 15 and round 16, which was just chain 1, half double crochet all stitches and slip stitch to join. Round 17, chain 1. This is a decrease round. Into the same stitch as chain 1, half double crochet. Into the next 2 stitches, work a decrease. Into the next stitch, work a half double crochet. Into the next 2 stitches, work a decrease. So for this round, you are alternating between a half double crochet and a decrease. Continue to the end of the round. I've continued on and I've completed round 17. So now at this point, the head is complete. We can fasten off. We'll now work part 1 of the body. So attach yarn. It's a change of color. Knot the tail ends to secure. Round 1, chain 1, into the same stitch as chain 1, half double crochet. So round 1 is a decrease round. Here we'll alternate between half double crochets and decreases. Into the next 2 stitches, work your decrease. Then it's a half double crochet into the next stitch. A decrease into the next 2 stitches. Continue to the end of the round. I've worked my way to the end of round 1 of the body. So to complete the round, slip stitch into the first stitch. Round 2, chain 1. Round 2 is an increase round. Here we're working 2 half double crochets into every stitch. I've continued on and I've completed round 2. At this point, I'd like to go ahead and stuff the head. So I'm stuffing this with scrap fabric or scrap yarn, or even I've stuffed with old swatches, crochet swatches as well. Now that just makes this nice and heavy and is suitable for a doorstop. If you'd like to turn this into a plushie, you can go ahead and use the normal lightweight stuffing. Know that the lightweight stuffing will not work for a doorstop. Make certain to really stuff this well. Continuing on, round 3, chain 1 into the same stitches, chain 1, half double crochet. Now for round 3, we are repeating round 7. Here are rounds 3 to rounds 13, which, as I said, is just a repeat of round 7 to 17 from the head. You may screenshot these or pause the video for easier reference. Now here you see I've moved on and I've actually completed body part 1, and all I did was repeat round 7 to round 17 from the head for round 3 to round 13 of the body. I'll then fasten off and cut off the excess yarn. And here I am bringing in the change of color for the body part 2. Now here for body part 2, we're repeating the pattern as for body part 1. So it's rounds 1 to rounds 13 as for body part 1. So I've continued on with the pattern. Here's the head, then it's body part 1, and that's body part 2, and then it's body part 3, and lastly 4. So here it's just a repeat of the pattern for body part 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is the same. And at this point I'm going to go ahead and stuff using scraps of fabric, and here you see old crochet swatches. Once you've completed round 13 from body part 4, we'll repeat that round 3 more times. So for the next 3 rounds, we're working decreases into all stitches. Now I've continued on. I've completely stuffed the millipede, and here you can see the opening at that end is completely closed. So I'll fasten off, leaving behind a tail to help seam up that opening completely. For the facial features, I'll stitch on buttons for the eyes. Make certain that you stitch them on at the right place. These are the embroidery stitches I'll be using for the eyebrows and the mouth. I've continued on, and here you see the little feet that I've attached to the body. Here's the facial features in place, and here I've worked one of the antenna and I still have the other to go. So here you see the feet, and I'll work the last one just to show you how. And right at the end on the top, I've attached a little tail. So let's work that last foot. Take your yarn. Now I've matched the colors along with the body panels, and for the feet I'll be using a larger hook, which is a 4mm hook. You'll form your magic ring. Into the magic ring, work 6 half double crochets. Pull tight to close and slip stitch into the fast stitch. Round 2 is an increase round. It's chain 1, and here you're working 2 half double crochets into each stitch. So your stitch count will be 12 stitches at the end of this round. I've continued on. I've worked round 3 and round 4, which were just half double crochets into all stitches. So in total, I've worked 4 rounds for the foot. Fasten off, leaving behind a long enough tail to help with the seaming. Stuff the foot. Here I am using scrap yarn. Stitch on the foot into place. Make certain that you're stitching on the feet on the underside of the millipede. For the antenna, chain 15 using the 3mm hook. Round 1 into the second chain from the hook, single crochet. Continue with single crochets to the end of the round. fasten off, leaving behind a long enough tail to help with attaching this antenna onto the head. And that's it for this crochet doorstop. Thanks for watching.